You are in 2024 beginning. Good evening to all of you. If you don't have a chorus voice, how do students have? Right? Your energy has got to be stimulating energy for the students. If you don't roar, they will become cats. If you want them to be cats, all right, but you should be lions and tigers if your children have got to roar. And in fact, everyone is strong lion and a strong elephant. It is teachers who are making them cunning wolves. Please note that. It is teachers, it is the education system which is making the students cunning wolves, not even ordinary wolves, cunning wolves. Therefore, every teacher has got to be trumpet of a lion, I am trumpet of a elephant, and the way the elephant walks, and the majesty of a lion. Only then the students would definitely become tigers and lion cubs. Okay? Congratulations to Dr. Lavugataya Garu. Not just elevating the status of Vignan University, his meticulous planning, as put by his own words, the way he has been meticulously planning to bring all the institutions together to the state of autonomy. I'm sure all these autonomous institutions over the next 5 years should become either the cluster universities as defined by national education policy, or should become independent universities by themselves. Because without autonomy, there shall not be any value for education, but with autonomy, what is more important is accountability. The ability to pierce through and see beyond, not just 2 years, not just 3 years, but beyond 10 years. In fact, when you go through national education policy very clearly, I still have my own doubt whether all of you have gone through national education policy or not, which is just about 74 pages to 76 pages document. You have not understood three important lines I shall quote. Number one, institution shall be autonomous, and so also the teacher shall be autonomous fully. Number one. So if you have got to be autonomous in your thinking, the imagination ability, the dreaming ability has got to be very strong. And if dreaming ability has got to be strong, you have got to be, every one of us have got to be foundation-wise strong and committed. So we have got to be foundation-wise strong. In fact, I shared that I received a blatant opinion from the students that 25 to 30% of the people are good. Blatant, straight. And I said, no, it may not be possible like that. It cannot be possible like that. Then students straight away told me, believe it or not, sir, 70% of our teachers are not up to the level of what we expect. I should not have told it on the day when we are wishing for the new year, but all of you tell 2024, let 2024 bring peace, prosperity. No, 2024 shall not bring. You have to bring peace and prosperity in 2024. There is always a big difference. 2024 shall not bring. Your father will not bring the richness for you, but your father can bring the foundations for you. And it is you who should create the richness. Right? The whole foundation shall be given by the parents. All right? So, if you want the 2024 to be peaceful, to be progressive, to be prosperous, we have got to be peaceful. We have got to be clear about what we have got to do, how we have got to do. If we have got to be, if every individual has got to be clear on what he has got to do, first, every individual should stop listening to somebody to carry out the instruction. You should exercise your own value, your own merit, and you should chalk out what has got to be the way. Just blindly listening shows that you are not living in the world of freedom. You really do not know the meaning of freedom. Freedom does not mean doing anything you like. Freedom simply means understanding how cooperatively the things have got to move to achieve the goal. Freedom is every player in a football match, all 11 players in the football match are having freedom, but all of them play together. Only then the ball can go into the opposite direction. All right? So that's exactly what is freedom. And then if I do not understand the meaning of freedom, and if I think that I have got to follow the instructions given by, in this university, not only Vice Chancellor gives the instruction, in this university, Honorable Chairman also gives the instruction, and obviously deans also give instructions. And if you think blindly following the instructions would take you to the goal, no. It is not possible. You should add value. You should add quality. Quality and value should be added by you. After all, path is told, right? Path is just told, and even then you have got to discover your own path. That has got to be the effort. All right? So, 2024 I shall not pray like anybody, everybody would tell, let 2024 bring peace and proper. 2024 shall not bring peace. Do you think 2024 shall bring the peace to Ukraine? Do you think 2024 can bring the peace to Russia? No, people there should get involved in thinking how I can make 2024 peaceful. Right? So, all of you, you are not ordinary people. You are all doctoral degree holders. You are all philosophical thinkers. And if my philosophical thinkers do not think, do not add philosophy into their thinking, what is the use of being philosophers? Which means you have done PhD also only for a purpose. You have completed your PhD only for encashment. You have not done it because you want to be philosophical. You have not done it because you want to be a philosopher. You have not completed your PhD because you want to generate knowledge with value and you want to add, create lot of skill set. Think about it. Every one of us should think about this seriously. Point number 2. Dr. Lavurataya Garu is perfect. You work on the applications. But he also mentioned foundation should be strong. But he stopped at that point. How do we ensure that the foundations are strong? Dr. Sharda mentioned, make them learn. Get them involved into learning. Foundations have got to be strong. Applications should be built in the imagination of every learner. It is not who are going to give the application assignment. The student should teach you what has got to be the application. Can you bring them to that level? Can you bring them to that level? IITs are not made overnight. Harvard University has not been made overnight. Massachusetts Institute of Technology has not been because of overnight, and California is not because of overnight. Nobel Prize winners did not come join MIT on the first day of its existence. Right? What did they do? Did they work for campus placement of their people? No. They said, we should be first qualitative. When we are qualitative, naturally students shall be qualitative. See, I shall just give you a simple example. Nowadays, of course, there is love marriage. Earlier it was all arranged marriage. During the arranged marriage, would you look into the boy or a girl, or would you look into the class of the family? Tell me. Tell me, what were you looking at? Were you looking at the decency of the family? Were you looking at the class of the family? Were you looking at the ability of the family? Or were you just looking at the boy or a girl? Tell me. Tell me, honest, tell me. Respond. So why people were looking at the family? Because the family culture would have been inculcated. So, if you want your institution's culture to be inculcated into your student, then you have got to be scientists. You have got to be technocrats. You have got to be original thinkers. You have got to be capable. You have got to be capable of creating the skill set which is the transformation of knowledge into action, which means everyone has got to be strong foundation-wise. If we are not strong foundation-wise, if I look in front of the student itself, look into Google in front of the student, then what is that strength of foundation I have got? Right? So only when you are strong, that's the difference. That is the difference that any placement institution, any placement organization, any company, any stakeholder shall come to you only when the parents are strong, only when the family is strong. Just modulating them for an ordinary campus placement shall not elevate the institution. The institution shall be elevated provided you, the ground folks, you, the invisible background, the invisible backbone shall remain strong. Right? So IITs are IITs because of the original thinking and the original research happens at the faculty level. Because that happens, the students have no other compulsion other than rubbing their shoulders against these giants of academy. When they rub the shoulders against the giants of this academy, naturally induction will take place. Natural. It is very obvious induction has got to take place. All right? Only then the institution would prosper. Vignan has set a trend. Vignan has set a toner in this direction, and then it has got to happen. Second point, you are convinced. When Dr. Sharda was speaking, I was totally convinced that you are all convinced that rote learning is not a solution to learning. Of course, there shall be friction when we are following the new policies, new methods. They are all used to rote learning, and that's what you did in your +2. And particularly in Andhra, that is what you did. Narayanas, Chaitanyas, and all other residential institutions, what are they doing? They did it, the rote learning. Good. Overcoming that is very difficult, I understand. But then, are you convinced that rote learning is not the method of learning? Then, just because this is going to be a little difficult, would you slip back and go back to your old practice? Decide whether you want to go back to the old practice. Going back to old practice is not a solution, but it is a submission of yourself to the slavery. Do you want to submit yourself to the failure and to slavery? That's what you have got to decide. We want Vignan on par with any IIT. We want people to come and just pick up our boys. We want people to be strong enough. In fact, even today I remember I had been to IIT Madras as a representative from DRDO to pick up scientists. Nobody turned up. No student turned up. I was sitting, and ultimately one student came. He came and he asked, "Sir, are you Nagabhushan?" "Yes." "Sir, I have come to see who is Nagabhushan. That's all, sir," he said. Then I asked him, "Why are you people not joining DRDO?" "Sir, when big companies, big players come and just pick us up, why should we come and attend DRDO interviews? ISRO people don't go. DRDO people don't go." Right? But then, Have we tried telling our students, look, life, fame, money, value shall all be there in DRDO? How many of our students have volunteered to go to DRDO? Today I sent a advertisement. I think I sent it to all deans and all heads, right? Did you get it? It is from BARC, isn't it? It is from BARC. How many of our people go? Right? So, please tell that you are convinced, you are very much convinced that rote learning is not a solution, and we have got to think of making them to learn, and learning and becoming foundation strong. As Dr. Lavagataya tells, only then the tree will grow up. Unless the roots are strong, unless the biotechnology people are over here, unless the roots are strong, unless the roots are down under the earth, unless the root caps are strong enough to absorb the nutrients, the shoot system will be a failure. Make them strong, right? Make them very strong. And if you want to make them strong, naturally, teachers have got to be strong. Foundation-wise, they have got to strong. Therefore, every teacher's job is 24/7, not these 8 hours, not these 6 hours. In fact, these 8 hours and these 6 hours in the campus is naturally a recreation for a teacher. Real work is subconscious. Real work is at home. Real work is your subconscious will be working when you are sleeping also, how I should put it tomorrow in the class. Right? So that's what you have got to do. Right? So then peace, prosperity, name, height, fame, everything shall happen. And even in the faculty development program, isn't it, faculty oriented course program, I straight away told all the youngsters, don't work for Vignan. I told this Dr. Lavagataya Garu that they should not work for Vignan, but I told them, you work for your resume. You work for your maintaining the good resume, because your good resume shall become the resume of Vignan. Don't worry about Vignan. You work for your resume, and if your resume is good, Vignan's fame will go high. Sure? But then be careful that Vignan has supported you and has identified you as a researcher and a scientist. Therefore, you owe to Vignan by taking a pledge that you will keep your resume very, very, very strong. Okay? This is one point. This other most important point I wanted to tell is, give your brain, give your mind a time to think seriously. All right? Find out what is peace. Find out what is required to be done. Tell your students, look, this is what I think. Allow them to react. Allow them collect the feedback. Please do that. It's always possible. The other point, which was a very delicate point, which was very, very wonderfully put across by Dr. Lavagataya Garu and later also Rukmini Madam plus Professor P.M.V. Rao, keep your conscience clear. That's all. Keep just your conscience clear. And you have got to be clear about it. Absolutely. The beauty always distracts you. Beauty should never distract you. Beauty should attract you. All right? See, beauty, if it is a matter of attraction, you will not only see the physical beauty, you will see beyond the physical beauty. The brain beauty of the candidate. The ability that the candidate can do. Encourage that. All right? Be clear in your conscience. The last point, I was very happy when some young newly recruited faculty came and asked me, sir, you have not met us. We understand that you have met every individual teacher and you have spent minimum 10 to 15 minutes with every faculty and you have not met us. And I realized, yes, at one end, we are just filling up the people and I have not met them. I asked my Secretary Verma to immediately plan, and I want to meet every one of the new faculty also, because the trust that I have in every faculty, more so in the new young faculty, is so high, because future of India, future of the world is not in the hands of the learners of today, but it is in the hands of those people who make them learn. Right? So let us make our stakeholders learn. Let us make them beautiful. Let us make them intelligent. Let us just not make them to become big. Let us not make them to think big, that they have become big by passing some stupid examinations. All right? Let us make them big, big in their ventures, big in their futures. And I call all of you to give a note on national education policy, which tells that national education policy is not interested in getting a student a first job. National education policy is interested in ensuring his second job, his third job, his fourth job, and the fifth job, and so on, till he breathes his last. And even after he breathes his last, he should remain there. His contribution has got to remain here. I'm sure every one of you shall think about it. That's all. I'm not asking you to pledge that I shall do it. I'm just asking your small time and your beautiful brain to think about it, because if you are a thinker, the idea of thinking percolates down to the learner also. Thank you very much.